By the way, if you can't see any of these things that we're talking about here, it's probably because your controller window hasn't been opened. See the little button here? With this one you open the controller field and close it again. Controller information can be edited in much the same way as you edit note information, apart from you cannot quantize it, and it also doesn't show up in the info line up here. But you can at least cut it, copy it and paste it. I'll show you an example. This note here, that one, let's take that one. And from that note onwards I'll select all of these notes here because I prefer the controller movements of the second part. I'll copy them. I've pressed Ctrl C in the keyboard, which is just a copy. I'll delete all of these here. And my cursor has to go to beat 1, bar 1, beat 1. So I'll put it to where the left locator is, that's where my part starts, and now I'll just press paste, and an exact copy of these mountains appear here now. Let's listen to it. Obviously you can undo this as well, Ctrl Z. And if you don't want to copy the parts there, you could just click your locator to anywhere you like and paste from anywhere you like as well. Now I'll put the locator over here, and now the first two bars are going to be the same as these two bars, but the next two bars are going to be a mixture between the last two bars and the first two bars here. So press paste, and then you end up with these bits here. This is a common thing for modulation information when you copy continuous data on top of each other. There are two ways to deal with this issue. You could have either deleted the parts that we had here in the first place, the red bits, which is the same thing as we did over here when we deleted the 4 bars of red modulation information, and the other one is you could just simply redraw the curve, draw around the black line and reshape the curves, which is exactly what I'm going to do now. There are 128 plus different controllers available. The most important ones are here, or the most common ones, and then down here you can find another window with 128 different controllers. Some of these are copies of what you've got here. For example, sustain is also up there, and modulation, for example, is here. Breath control is there as well. Main volume is there. Balance, pan, balance is there. Pan is there. Expression. I'm setting up a track with exactly the same parameters as this track here. So I want a track which plays on channel 2, and it also plays on the universal sound module. Now I'll delete this part here, which I don't need, and I'll create a new 1 bar part in order to get some information written into the controller data area. So I'll open this one here first, choose the pan, that's the one, yeah, and create some information. I've only got 1 bar space, so I'll make it a little bit larger. I press Alt and I'll create information from there to there. I could either straighten it up or leave it as it is. I'll just leave it for now. And I'll do the same for this part here. That one is already there. Starts in bar 2. I'll press Alt and do exactly the opposite. Yeah, why not? So I'm going to increase the sizes here a little bit. I'll call this one left. Part info left, or left to right. Left to right. And I'll call the other one right to left. And now I'll copy both parts. Control K. 3 copies, ghost copies may as well. And I've got parts with the controller data going from left to right, from right to left, left to right, right to left, and so on. I'm going to solo the top part, this one here, and I'll mute that one. Go to the beginning of my arrangement, my song, quickly check that cycle isn't switched on, and let's play the result. With a bit of luck, you can hear the music going from the left channel to the right channel, and if you combine that with a whole track, here I've got 2 scenarios. I've got number 1, the controller data being in the same part as the actual note events, and number 2, the scenario where you extract the controller data from the parts, or actually record them on a separate part in the first place, like these parts here with just the pan information on, but then you send both information parts, the note events and the controller parts, to the same output. But you have to use the same channel, of course, so they go onto the same channel. And then it doesn't matter whether you send them to the same track, like here, modulation and the note events, or whether you use 2 separate tracks, like one for pan and the other one for the notes. The advantage of this one is that now that they're here separately, I can now modify these parts or move them around anywhere I like. I can, for example, delete all the ones where the information goes from right to left, and copy all of these here across, and now I just have information that goes from left to right. And this way of working is a lot faster than doing everything in the same part.